Well, traditionally, having been spent 20 years in academia myself, there's what we refer to as those long, hard-fought battles about academic freedom and open scientific communication. Those battles and challenges have been ongoing in relatively modern times. Those challenges arose in the mid to 1940s during World War II, and there were some questions about the accessibility of university-based research and its accessibility to adversaries. The debate arose again in the early 1980s with a panel called the Corson Panel on Open Scientific Communication. And once again, basically the same issues arose in terms of what is the role of a university? Should universities keep university-based research out of the public domain? And then again, kind of interestingly, the same challenge came up again in following 9/11, and this was facilitated by a think tank in Washington, D.C. called the Center for Strategic and International Studies. They facilitated, once again, a panel to kind of debate that issue and whether, in fact, universities, the type of research that evolves from universities was flowing too readily to not only economic adversaries but competitive adversaries on a global basis. The consensus is today is that we still cling to that open scientific communication, academic freedom arena, but we see more awareness and alertness on behalf of universities that some information, obviously, in some types of R&D should be kept primarily within the university environment and then licensed or involved in tech transfer types of arrangements later. But again, in my judgment, having been in that arena for many years, I think gone are the days that it is a totally open access environment in terms of open scientific communication. We have an obligation, it seems to me, and I don't misinterpret my words. I'm not one for advocating a totally closing off that exercise, that a free exchange of data and information, because there are, to be sure, some very positive benefits of validating research, etc., on a globalized basis. But by the same token, I oftentimes refer to a quote by a former, I believe it's attributed to a former director of FBI, Judge Sessions, who uttered the statement, "Our economic security equates with our national security." And particularly in an era of globalization, I think those universities and other R&D environments need to be all the more aware of those types of circumstances.